We are going to be getting a new Gigantamax Pokemon in Pokemon GO, and it's not the Gigantamax Pokemon that a lot of players were hoping for, but I will say that this Pokemon is one you will not want to sleep on, no pun intended, and I'm going to be explaining why in this video. Alright, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Alright, so we are getting ourselves a new Gigantamax Pokemon in the month of April, and it's going to be Gigantamax Snorlax. I know there's plenty of players out there who were hoping for Gigantamax Machamp, especially because that was the Gigantamax Pokemon that Niantic teased at the beginning of this season, but I still think that Gigantamax Snorlax is going to be pretty good, and actually quite important. And I'll get more into that later, but first let's go over the details for this Max Battle Day. Gigantamax Snorlax Max Battle Day is going to be happening on April 19th from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time, and the featured Pokemon is of course going to be Gigantamax Snorlax. Now, during this event, you're going to get the following event bonuses. You're going to have an increase to your max particle limit up to 1600, which is actually quite important considering that you do need a lot to engage with these Gigantamax battles. And then all power spots will host these Gigantamax battles, so you do not necessarily have to travel quite a lot to get a Snorlax battle going on, but you will need the numbers, do keep that in mind. And then power spots will refresh more frequently, so if there is only one power spot near you and you want to complete multiples of these battles, do not worry because the power spot will refresh pretty quickly and you will be able to get yourself a second battle in. And then you're going to get 8 times the amount of max particles when you go to a power spot. That's going to allow you to do more battles. And then you're going to get 2 additional special trades during the event, and then you're going to get 2 times the amount of max particles from exploring, and then the adventuring distance to receive max particles is going to be cut to a quarter. Also during this event, there's going to be an event ticket which you can purchase. It's going to give you 1 max mushroom, which is going to increase your damage in the Gigantamax battle, and then you're also going to get 25,000 experience. And you'll also receive the following bonuses when you purchase this ticket. You're going to get double the amount of experience from max battles, and the max particle limit is going to be 56,000. Finally, there's going to be a free timed research which is going to be available to everyone. This is going to be from April 16 at 6 o'clock p.m. to April 19th at 5 o'clock p.m. and it's going to award you with max particles, encounters with Dynamax Machop, which is actually going to be really useful against Gigantamax Snorlax, as well as some Machop candy, so you can unlock some moves on that particular Pokemon. Alright, so I mentioned earlier on in the beginning of this video that Gigantamax Snorlax is actually a pretty important one. Why do I say that? Yeah, I do recognize that this is going to be one of those Pokemon that does not have a lot of offensive firepower, but I will say that when it comes to Dynamax content and when it comes to these max battles, having yourself a more of a diverse team is actually going to be very effective. And right now, probably the best way to go about it is to have at least 1 tank that's going to absorb a lot of damage and keep you in the battle much longer, and then maybe 1 or 2 damage dealers behind it. But there's not really that many good tanks that are capable of being in these Dynamax battles. I think the only one we have right now is Dynamax Chansey, and yeah, it is a pretty good tank, but I will say that when it comes to Gigantamax Snorlax, this is definitely one that will fulfill that role really well. So I really do think that if you're trying to come up with a really good strategy for these battles, then you will need to get yourself a dedicated tank. And when it comes to Gigantamax Snorlax, I can't think of a much better Pokemon than that one. So yeah, I do think this is going to be a must-attend event. You really do not want to miss out on this one, especially if you're someone who cares about Dynamax content and Gigantamax content. And then on the same time, I do think that these sort of events are actually quite underrated. I really enjoy myself when it comes to these max battle days. When it comes to Pokemon GO, it's not often that we get ourselves some really good content that you could enjoy for free. And I will say that when it comes to Max Battle Days and Gigantamax Battle Days, they're actually a lot of fun that you can have without having to spend any money. So that is definitely something you should consider. If you have nothing going on this particular day, it might be worth going out to a high population area and actually engaging with these battles. I'm sure the players that are going to be there are going to want the numbers, and then on top of that, you're going to get yourself a really cool Pokemon and possibly even a high IV shiny. That is something you should definitely consider. If you're looking for tips on how to actually defeat these Gigantamax and Dynamax battles, I'll probably make a video regarding that as we get closer to this Gigantamax battle day. Or just in general, I think the best rule of thumb is to just go with as many players as possible. I think that's probably the best bet. I mean, it's really about you surviving the battle and just dealing as much damage as you possibly can. There are certain techniques and strategies that you could follow, and that's really going to be more for, I guess, advanced players. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in a future video. Until then, yeah, these are all the details for this Snorlax Gigantamax Battle Day, and I really do not think you should miss out on it. In any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding this upcoming event down below. Do you plan to pick yourself up a Gigantamax Snorlax, or are you just going to completely ignore this event because you just simply do not care about Dynamax Pokemon? If that happens to be you, I would love to know your opinions, so make sure you share it in the comments section down below, and hopefully we can have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you can do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I am going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later. Jinsula